Rob Van Dam, listening to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hey guys, it's Thunder Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Hill Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for NJPW Wrestling Dontaku 2025 preview. Breaking down this Saturday and Sunday's big shows from Fukuoka, Japan, as we're going to say goodbye to Tetsuya Naito. It is the huge show, New Japan Pro Wrestling's latest event for the Golden Week for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we're here to discuss it as only we do. To do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It's your boy, J-News. How you doing?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your brother J-News back at it again here on True Heel Heat, talking that New Japan goodness, man. It's been a bit, man. It's been a bit. We back at it again. 2 nights of Wrestling Dontaku this weekend, yeah? 2 nights.
Yes.
So we got to preview all that and break it all down, and hopefully, you know, we start the hype train towards the weekend.
Indeed, and we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You can drop the thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you will, hit a destino on the subscribe button to show some love for Tetsuya Naito. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat if you want to interact with us. If you're watching us live, give us your thoughts, your predictions on this Saturday and Sunday's big, huge shows. Wrestling Dontaku, the Golden Week in Japan. It kicked off with Stardom, All-Star Grand Queendom, and it goes through this weekend with all the major events across all the promotions. Sendai Girls had the Meiko Satomura final matchup. I actually checked that out yesterday as well. Stardom's got a couple of big shows for them once again for this week. Marigo, TJPW, and New Japan has been celebrating the week with a bunch of good shows to lead up to Wrestling Dontaku. So let's talk about it, if you will. And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here. You want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel and our New Japan Pro Wrestling coverage. You can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. So, J-News, we haven't, it's been a couple of weeks since we last talked about some New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. I think the last time was for Windy City Riot, and now we're here to discuss Wrestling Dontaku. So how have you been keeping up with everything going on in the crazy world of New Japan Pro Wrestling? I know we talked in our private chat. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday's True Heel Heat flagship podcast about the drama that has been going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The last two episodes of the flagship podcast were 2 weeks ago. We talked about Jeff Cobb's abrupt departure from New Japan Pro Wrestling and him possibly going to WWE. We talked about the even more abrupt, out of nowhere, really, of Tetsuya Naito. Most of us thought when the April 1st article came out from Tokyo Sports that it was just him playing an April Fool's joke, but no, he was working without a contract and now has officially announced he is leaving the promotion along with Bushi, where a lot of people are saying LIJ is no more. So you had, and then with United Empire with Jeff Cobb, that has even gotten even worse in the last couple of weeks. Last True Heel Heat flagship podcast, we talked about all the drama going on social media with TJP, his wife, and Jeff Cobb in surrounding United Empire, who's going to play a big role on the shows this weekend. So what do you want to talk about first before we get into the big shows this weekend?
Let's go on the light stuff first. Light stuff being Naito and Bushi leaving.
That's the light stuff in comparison to the other light.
Yeah, man. Look, I feel like I remember when the news came out on April 1st about the whole Naito being a freelancer thing, right? That was the news that Naito was wrestling without a contract. And I understood it to be not an April Fool's joke, because folks in Japan don't necessarily do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first part of it. And then secondarily, I said to myself, okay, this means he's slowing down, which is probably best for him and his overall health at this point. But he, along with Tanahashi and Okada no longer being there, these guys were the faces of this last generation of New Japan, right? Obviously, Shibata's not there as well. Goto's he's basically getting the Legends reign right now with his heavyweight championship, but he's closer to retirement than he is being a full-time wrestler himself. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing the transition from the old guard to the new guard. It's tough, but with, like you said, Naito's news was very abrupt. And then the more shocking bit of news, even though, we always joke about Bushi looking up at the lights. The most shocking bit of news was Bushi leaving. And somebody made, I read this online somewhere where someone made a joke about it. They were like, well, now Bushi's 13-year loan from All Japan's over. And I was like, 13 years?
13.
I was like, look,
years.
Man, he is the other Takahashi, if folks don't realize that. So, yeah, just weird, to be quite honest. I felt weird about it. But guys are getting older. They don't want to wrestle as much and things of that nature. Maybe at the same time it could be business dealings. I'm just assuming at this point that Bushiroad can't afford to pay people as much as they think they're worth.
I mean, between New Japan and Stardom, yeah, it's looking like that. Yeah,
the Stardom bit also was a bit surprising, and I guess we could touch on that lightly.
I mean, the Mayu Iwatani is not surprising because that's kind of been a topic of discussion for the past year, ever since Rossi started up Marigold. It's been pretty obvious that Mayu was going to leave at the end of her contract.
I felt, but a lot of those girls some of the girls, should I say, who went to Marigold, weren't they still under contract when they were with Stardom, or were they all out of contract when they went to?
I think they were all out of contract when they left. Or they were I think one or two may have been let go out of their contract because they asked to be out of their contract to go with Rossi.
There you go. I mean, I would have imagined that she would have been one of the Mayu Iwatani, that is, would have been one of the people to do that, but I guess not. She stayed loyal to Stardom, and now the rumors have it that she will. Well, not rumors. There is a press conference happening. Yeah. Later on tonight.
It happened. It happened on Monday. She officially announced that she's leaving Stardom.
Oh no! I'm talking about the Marigold conference. That's
yeah. The Marigold one. Yeah, one on May 1st. Yeah, that's definitely it's definitely Mayu's coming in. Like I tried to I think I said it on In the Weeds this week. I was like, for anyone who thinks that she's gonna go to WWE or AEW, y'all don't know Mayu Iwatani. She's not leaving Japan.
Yeah. That I didn't worry much about that. I honestly thought, she was just gonna do what Tam did and retire. To be quite honest, they've been doing it long enough.
She started before Tam.
Yeah, exactly. And because Tam, I forget they have these kind of like titles for people. She used to be an idol, right? Much like Mina, right? Like Mina Shirakawa was at one point.
Yeah.
And they became terrific professional wrestlers. I didn't know that Tam was as young as she is. For me, it's watching her as long as I have. I didn't know she was only 37. I thought she was a little older.
Yeah.
And so understanding that she's retiring and stuff like that, and now they're having their own shift and whatnot. So that Stardom under the Bushiroad umbrella, and Bushi and Naito, and let's get into it, man. Let's get into this drama.
Before you go into the drama, because we got to highlight a couple of these comments here, make it a little lighter before we get into the messiness. Bloody Money 47 saying SP3 Sanal NJ Shout out to Sanal. She couldn't make it for today, but we always appreciate our third member of the team. He says 100 New Japan wrestlers versus Gorilla. Who would win this fight? Unless the 100 one of the 100 New Japan wrestlers is Antonio Inoki come back from the dead, I will take the Gorilla.
Yeah, this whole this is why I wish I didn't have Twitter anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I spent mad years off Twitter, and then you convinced me because I was doing all the different pods and all that jazz. So I was like, whatever, I'll get the social media shit back. But and this is nothing on you, Blood Money. This is more of a general conversation thing. Look, man, I take the Silverback one, a million times out of a million. At this point, he's ripping limbs, he's ripping flesh. No matter if it's 100. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter, man. It could be Inoki. It could be. God damn it, man. I mean,
I'll take Inoki. I'll take Big Van Vader when he was in New Japan. I'll take Tanahashi in 2013. I'll take Okada in 2017.
I'll take Ken Norton in 98. I'll take that.
That's a good one. I'll take Kenny Omega in 2018. I'll take AJ Styles in 2015.
That makes
Shinsuke
sense.
Nakamura in 2015.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, man. It's, you know.
I'll take Hiromu in the Best of Super Juniors tournament.
Nah, man. Nah. No, Hiromu.
He always wins. He ain't losing. He always wins. But we got Frantic World who says, "What's up, SP3 J-News in chat? Please tell me New Japan is not bringing back that steel cage match."
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. All count steel cage this Saturday. Blood Money 47 also saying Bullet Club birthday is going to be bloody. He also throwing some shade. You said no shade, but it is some shade. He says Bushi is nothing more than a side character during his tenure with LIJ. No shade. There is shade, but it's also some truth as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've always known him to be a side character at the end of the day, but you know, he's been a mainstay is really more or less the point of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, chalk it up to the Miz, I guess, the WWE for the tenure. You know what I'm saying? From the tenure standpoint.
I'll take Suzuki when he first came back from Noah.
I'll take Prime Suzuki in his Pride days. That's Suzuki.
Ooh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. That's a good shot. We got the Stat King John Martin in the chat. He says Brock Lesnar was in NJPW for a short amount of time. He can help. Yeah, but it wasn't prime. It's not like 2002 Brock or 2012 Brock. Those are the prime Brock years. Like or 2014 Brock. After he beat the streak. Those are prime Brock years. 2006 Brock, I don't know. I don't know how much help he's going to be. I don't know. But we also got our good friend Negro Buck, who gives us the perfect segue for you to talk about the other big topic from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He says the stuff with Jeff Cobb and TJP online seemed pretty messy. So J-News, I'll lay it out for you. We talked about it on the flagship podcast last Saturday. It was first TJP's wife, Ari Perkins, who went on social media, called Jeff Cobb a C word. She also basically alluded to that no one in the United Empire likes Jeff Cobb, and they were talking trash about him in group chats. I thought that Jeff Cobb kind of handled it for the most part pretty well in his response of everything. And then TJP went on Reddit and went on a big soliloquy. Basically gave us the whole script for United Empire since Will Ospreay left, how basically no one in the team wanted to be the leader. He was kind of given the role as the leader because he was the most tenured New Japan person on the team. And he felt that Jeff Cobb had sabotaged the United Empire during the past year to management, kind of undermining TJP as the leader in promos and stuff like that, and how all the members of United Empire were affected by the booking of United Empire, where their merchandise sales had kind of go lower. They weren't getting paid as much, and the only one who had a guaranteed contract was Jeff Cobb, so it didn't really matter to him. So what do you think about this whole situation with Jeff Cobb, TJP, and the United Empire?
To the Negro Buck's point, I just thought it was messy at the end of the day. The age of social media has made people into, I don't even know what to call it, man, but like folks don't seem to be able to communicate with one another. They rather communicate to a whole bunch of people instead of the actual folks involved. That to me just isn't the best way to go about it. One. Secondarily, I would like to say that no one is at more fault than the other in all this. Am I frozen? No. I was about to say no one is at more fault than the other with all this. It's equal parts Cobb, equal parts TJP. Callum Newman acknowledged what's been spoken about in recent in the last week or so. It just, I didn't expect this to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't feel anyone did, but like at the end of the day, yeah, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's just it's messy. A lot of some of the stuff was real. Some of the stuff that was said by TJP in that Reddit post was really specific and particular. And while reading through it, I was like, I understood his side of it, but the way he was explaining it, it's like there's still so much room for criticism on all sides. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just put this up to a messy ass divorce. I hope that the boys that are left in the United Empire can do something positive with it. But I don't see a way where, for those of us who are at least in tune with what's been with what's been going on, I don't see a way where TJP can appear with the United Empire and it just be kosher at this point.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's a weird, very weird situation. Very messy. I think that I believe TJP is going to be on the Resurgence card coming up the week following. I would have to go double check who he's supposed to be teaming with, because he was seemingly going after the NJPW Strong tag team titles, and we all assumed that it would be a member of the United Empire that he would be teaming with in that matchup, but now it's kind of messy now. So yeah, I agree. I don't know how you can just go back to him being, you know, on this team in this faction moving forward, even on strong shows.
Yeah, I mean, look, the only way that necessarily happens is if all the members of the United Empire are actually on TJ's side. So it's like that's the only way this makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's also the professionalism aspect of it. You know, cats got to go out there and do a job. They're getting paid to do a job. So, you know, be professional about it and not necessarily have to mention anything that's been going on online. But yeah, man, just messy, just weird. I for one, when I see stuff like this, even outside of wrestling, when you see like celebrity business out there and shit like that, right? It's like, why are you exposing this shit to the world? Like, keep this shit in house.
Why do I need to know this? That's what I'd be wondering. Why do I need to know this? But yeah, I just double checked. He's going to be teaming up with Templario, which is probably the only member that he can't team up with at this point. So
true, because he's the newest member of the faction and he's got nothing to do with nothing. So there's that.
Yeah. We got Frantic World, who believes that Jeff Cobb should have told New Japan and the team that he was leaving for WWE. To be fair to Jeff Cobb and how the reporting has gone down with his abrupt departure from the company, it was kind of like sprung on him by WWE. He had already been in negotiations. I think he's been working with New Japan out of contract, so he's been able to negotiate with WWE, and WWE needed him sooner than they thought. They thought that New Japan thought that they could put the IWGP tag team titles on him. He would have probably dropped it at the show that the newest Callum and Okan won the titles. He probably would have dropped it at that show, and then he would have had his matchup with Goto for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the Sunday show this week at Wrestling Dontaku, and that would have been his sign-off and his departure from New Japan Pro Wrestling. But WWE said they needed him sooner. I think Dave said that they needed him for like Monday or Sunday or Monday for the WrestleMania weekend. He still hasn't appeared. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll probably see him in WWE in the next few months. Hopefully, because Hikuleo's been signed for a year nearly.
And yeah, that funny enough, that came up on my freaking Twitter stream today. It was like he's been missing and he's been signed for the entire year. It's like, look, man, at the end of the day, we just don't know. So, hopefully, Jeff Cobb succeeds in the WWE. And for all intents and purposes, this might sound the way it's going to sound, but this is my own personal shit from what I read from TJP. Hey, man, go get yourself some fucking bookings, because I'll be damned.
Yeah, go get yourself some bookings. You got a family, so go out there. I know he's been very active on the independent scene.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I interviewed this week actually said they wrestled TJP on the independent scene. So I know he's been getting the independent shows under his book. He does the NJPW Strong shows, but it seems like he wants to relax with the Japan bookings, which is gonna be helpful because time heals all wounds when it comes to this United Empire drama. But we will keep you up to date with any more information or news that comes out of that. But let's get into Saturday and Sunday show. May 3rd, May 4th, Wrestling Dontaku 2025. J-News Golden Week. How excited are you for this weekend shows? 0 to 10.
It's been, you know what? I'm always transparent and honest with everybody here. I'm not going to stop doing that. Usually after WrestleMania week, I digest and I don't really consume much wrestling. I let that burn for like.
Don't be me. Don't be me, guys. That's what he's trying to say. Don't be me.
I let that just go for about a week or two, and then I jump back on the wagon. As for anticipation at this point, I'm at a solid 6. Just because of one, we're going to see ELP versus Takeshita, so I think that's going to be a dope ass match. The Dog Pound Steel Cage match, like I mentioned before in previous previews and reviews, based on what happened in the previous Steel Cage match, I feel like some folks are going to come out of this match and unfortunately not come back. That's just a thought process in my head, just based on history. So there's that about it. And yeah, we'll get into the particulars and stuff like that. But yeah, my hype right now is at about a 6. It's not too high. So hopefully me watching the rest of the Road 2 shows going into Saturday and Sunday will be more positive.
I would say I'm at a solid 7. I'm at a 7 for this Saturday and Sunday, only because I have watched some of the Road 2 shows. I said it the other day on In the Weeds, and I'll say it here. Go out of your way to watch that Hiroshima event, the Road 2 show that they did, New Japan Red Zone, which had one of the most underrated New Japan matches of the year with Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi versus Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii. That feels like it's going to be the last great match that Naito is a part of. Because, yeah, he's going to be on the 2 Wrestling Dontaku shows, but it's in multi-man matches. The focus is not really on him. In tag team format is probably the best way he can get those spotlights. And he was so emotional heading into that show in Hiroshima. And then the emotion that poured out of him at the end of the matchup, him embracing Taichi and him crying on the mat, yeah, go out of your way to watch that. That was really well done. The Red Zone show was good with the final 2 matches that I watched. But let's get into it. Wrestling Dontaku, we got it first on Saturday, May 3rd. We got a preliminary matchup, pre-show matchup as your 2 favorite young lions, everybody's 2 favorite young lions, Tetsuya Morishima and Dake Nagai going one-on-one here. I mean, we've said this in the past. We'll say it again. Morishima wins. LOL.
I feel like now with Yasuda being part of the Young Lion matches more, I feel maybe that the scales will start to tip in Dike Nagai's favor. So I'm going to go for the big event. Nagai wins over Morishima, and the scales
Oh.
at the tip.
Okay, all right. I see you switching it up. I'm still going with my man Morishima, the head of the class. Then we got some multi-man action, as these shows are bound to have, as always. J-News. We got the Hontai, or formerly known as the Sum of Chaos, as well in here, as we're gonna see Tori Yanuo teaming up with Bolton Oleg, Master Wato, and Yo to face TMDK. Roye Uyowa, Hartley Jackson, Robbie Eagles, and Kosei Fujita. This comes off the heels of TMDK versus Master Wato and Yo for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Playing off from there in this multi-man matchup. Here, I will take TMDK for the win. Who you got?
Yeah. Based their loss, which was surprising yet again. I didn't expect that to happen at that Red Zone 1 show. I'm going to go with TMDK here because I'm feeling there's probably going to be, if there's not a rematch already booked for the second night, then, it'll happen sooner rather than later. So I'm going to take it from there. So, yeah, TMDK for the win as well on my side.
Fair. I think that was on the, what is it? Hinzinguni show was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match. I still gotta go. I'm always transparent with everybody. I still gotta go back and watch that matchup, but I'm looking forward to watching that one. But yeah, here I'll go with TMDK. Then we're gonna get some more home tie. This is what happens when you have 27 members. You're gonna be all throughout these two shows, as home tie is here again, or AKA the artist formerly known as Just Four Guys with one Chaos member, but now they're Hontai, as Takamishi Shinoku will team with Taichi, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yuya Uemura to face Yota Tsuji, Tetsuya Naito in his second to last matchup in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi in his second to last matchup. This is all building up to the big IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship matchup between Suji and Uemura. Who do you got here?
Oh man, Big Suge, Uemura, they're gonna go one-on-one here. I feel like, like we always say, brother, Taka's there, Bushi's there.
It's like, who is gonna look up at the lights here between those two?
Bushi's on his way out though, man, and they tend to treat people on their way out better than they do the people who are going to stay on the roster. So I think Big Ox takes the pin here. And so LIJ for the win.
I think it's going to be even funny because it's going to be the MX. It's going to be Bushi scoring the pin on Taka. I agree. I got LIJ picking up the victory here. But we got more action from the Hontai faction, as in a prelude, a preview of the Sunday main event. It's going to be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Hirooki Goto teaming up with his Bishamon tag team partner Yoshihashi and Ryusuke Taguchi to verse the United Empire's own Callum Newman, Great-O-Khan, and the JAY Jacob Austin Young. I really think that one of the main stories, and you'll see it when you go back and watch the Road 2 shows, has really been over the last couple of weeks has been the maturation of Callum Newman ahead of his first shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You could really feel that he got some fire lit under him for everything that's gone down with winning the IWGP Tag Team Championships, defeating Tetsuya Naito in that matchup to win the titles along with Jeff Cobb, losing the titles 9 days later because Cobb left the company, then basically taking Cobb's spot against Goto in the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match coming up on Sunday, and then him and Great-O-Khan defeating Bishamon to win the titles, him pinning Yoshihashi to win his second IWGP Tag Team Championships. Love the story with Great-O-Khan, by the way, because Great-O-Khan, he's had 4 reigns as IWGP Tag Team Champions, and he's never been pinned to lose them.
Yeah, because he's
either lost it to injuries or 3-way matches.
Yeah, it's never Okan's fault, man. It's never Okan's fault. But I'm agreeing here with Vala B, man. I like what New Japan is doing, trying to make Callum Newman into a guy. I think the young man is hella talented and things of that nature. I am highly invested in the young man, and so I hope that he's able to take this new set motivation and fire that he has under his ass, and him basically coming out and proclaiming himself the leader of the United Empire at this point. So hopefully he's able to take the reins and do something positive with it and go from there, man. But I'm looking forward to the matches that the match he's gonna have with Goto on Sunday, and hopefully whatever other matches will be in his wheelhouse versus against mid to upper carders in the New Japan roster. So looking forward to what Callum's got coming up in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna take United Empire in the matchup though.
Yeah, same.
We're on the same page here. All right, so then Saturday we got the nitty gritty with these last four matches. What was originally going to be Jado and El Phantasmo versus the Don Callis family members of Rocky Romero and Konosuke Takeshita has now turned into an NJPW World Television Championship matchup after ELP defeated the Great Okan to become a two-time NJPW World Television Champion. He issued the challenge to Konosuke Takeshita. He said, I already got a shot at your title coming up at NJPW Resurgence on May 9th. So how about you're going to be in Japan for the Golden Week for Wrestling Dontaku? You challenge me for the NJPW World Television Championship. The story here is all stems from the two very notable, memorable times that these two men have been across the ring from one another. First at Forbidden Door last year, where they were really the highlight of that six-man ladder match for the TNT Championship, and that crazy spot where where Takeshita did the Blue Thunder Bomb off of the apron through a table onto El Phantasmo, and then their match of the year candidate in Kurgan Hall during the G1 Climax tournament. It was my personal match of the tournament and one of the best New Japan matches of the year, where these guys tore it up in Kurgan Hall. And now ELP, after losing that matchup, wants revenge, and he wants to beat him for his title before he gets a shot at the Never Openweight Championship. Konosuke Takeshita is on a roll right now, and you would love to be like, hey, one guy wins the match for his title, the other guy wins the match for his title, call it even. Or me personally, as a Konosuke Takeshita fan, I wouldn't mind saying Takeshita wins everything. But I think the more likely outcome here is time limit draw.
Yeah. And that just stems from them having that rematch in less than a week's time at the end of the day. So yeah, time limit draw here. They'll go the 15. Is it 15 or 20 minutes? Which one was the one
15 minutes?
It's 15 minutes, right? All right. So
AEW, you're thinking Continental Championship is 20 minutes.
Okay, got you. So there's that. So yeah, definitely a time limit draw. We'll get some high stakes, high drama spots during the match. To see as to who kicks out at 2.99 and everything else in between. So we'll get some of that. We'll get some of that hard hitting action. And yeah, man, Takeshita can't. I mean, I don't know how long I've been saying this, but Takeshita can do no wrong. ELP is one of my faves. So I'm glad ELP has the TV title back. Man, listen. I'll say this out loud, man. Okan, you've been dropping the ball on me, brother. I can't count on you anymore right now. I can't count on you right now, man. But ELP, definitely back as TV champ is a good thing. And yeah, man, time limit draw. So I think it'll be a banger of a match, and then they'll have some sort of a because it's gonna be for the Never at Resurgence, right?
Yeah.
So that'll go a bit longer then, and we'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, definitely gonna see a banger match here.
Yeah, Takeshita, you can give him 10 minutes, you can give him 12 minutes, you can give him 15 minutes, you can give him 25 minutes. He's going to deliver a banger every single time out. He's one of the leading candidates for most outstanding wrestler of 2025 so far. So I expect this one to be a banger. But I agree with Vala B. He said it in the chat as well. It's going to be a time limit draw. You got to build to the matchup in Ontario, California. I see our boy Jeremy Orr is in the chat. Good to see you, Jeremy Orr. You pressured me. So later on tonight, we'll be dropping our TNA Rebellion 2025 review. I'm going to be recording that just after this. So be on the lookout for that. That will premiere later on the channel just for you and anybody else who wanted to see a Rebellion review here on the channel. But let's talk about Hiroshi Tanahashi's final road continuing as he will go one-on-one with former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr. One of Tanahashi's main rivals over the last couple of years has been Zack Sabre Jr. These two men have faced in Madison Square Garden. They faced in the Tokyo Dome. They faced for the NJPW World Television Championship. They faced for Never Gold, for the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. So this is a long-standing rivalry between the two. They faced in the G1 previously as well. So this will probably be the final time they go one-on-one in what should be another really good matchup. Zack Sabre Jr., one of the best wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Tanahashi on a half a knee has been delivering some really good stuff in any of the special singles matches against top talent that he's had. So what do you got here, J-News?
This is tough, man. To be quite honest, it's tough to pick a winner here because Tana's actually won a few of his matches here. He's the elder statesman. Zack Sabre Jr. is in his prime. In this case, because Tana's on his way out, logic dictates ZSJ wins here. So I'm going to go with that. I'm sure ZSJ will attempt to tie up Tana and his brittle knees in a couple of knots here and there. But there's definitely a lot of love and respect between those two guys. So at the end of the day, I expect it to be another one of those emotional matches, which is what we're basically in for the rest of the year with Tanahashi at this point. So I expect it to be one of those. And yeah, man. But ZSJ for the win, for sure. In my eyes, at least for this match.
All right. I definitely agree with you. I think DSJ picks up the victory here. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran back Goto and ZSJ at like Dominion this year.
Yeah.
It feels like DSJ has been getting like significant singles wins to kind of build to that.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with you, and I also feel like they're building towards this another special one-on-one matchup between Taichi and ZSJ. So
see that as well.
We might see that be for a precious piece of gold in IWGP in New Japan. So I'm speculating, folks, but at the end of the day, that's the way I foresee it.
So what we're here for. Yeah. And another guys that have been in the mix for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is the perennial new bridesmaid of Shoto Umino, as he's going to go one-on-one with the man that he defeated in the semifinals of the New Japan Cup, Shingo Takagi. These two men, like I said, faced in the New Japan Cup semifinals with Shooter beating Shingo there. He's also beaten Shingo in the G1 Climax last year. So Shingo Takagi is trying to avenge two major losses that he's taken to Shoto Umino. Shoto Umino still needs a new graphic with his new hair, but he's got short hair, at least in this graphic here. So we'll see what happens when these two men go one-on-one. Semi-main event on this show this Saturday. Who you got?
So I want to pose this question to you, and I want to pose this question to everybody in the chat, SP3. What are we doing with Shooter? What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're just doing matches at this point. It's like you rushed him to get another title shot at Windy City Riot when he shouldn't have. So I mean, I think that he needs another losing streak to get something out of him. I'm not going to be predicting the heel turn because now I just want it to be a surprise. I predicted it so many different times, and it should have happened so many different times, but here we are.
Yeah, I don't. You know what, man? Until he comes into his own. I'm going to say it out loud here first. Until he comes into his own and he builds an actual character, I am going to continuously choose Shooter Umino to lose all his matches from now into the future. So Shingo Takagi for the win here. Greg, I agree with you. Shingo will probably end up being the new leader of LIJ.
I disagree. I think that's Hiromu Takahashi.
The weapon? Hiromu?
I think it should be Hiromu Takahashi. Yeah.
True, he's the longest standing member, so that makes sense. But from a wrestling perspective, Shingo is the elder, so I can see Shingo being the new leader of LIJ. But your point is valid, so we'll see as to how they go about it. Once Naito breaks and once Bushi leaves,
only 4 members now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Well, technically 4 members, really 3 active members. Right.
So will there be new members added at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to happen? That's interesting. So we'll see how it goes.
It is interesting, but I agree. Shingo Takagi picks up the win here. He's another one that I think it should be pegged for like a shot at Hirooki Goto. Probably made like if it's not Zack Sabre Jr. at Dominion, it should be Shingo Takagi, and if it's either or whoever is not the person who versus him at Dominion, that person should probably be the one who gets the shot. If are they doing a match at Resurgence? I don't know. They're supposed to be doing an IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match.
I believe so. Yeah.
So hopefully maybe Zack at Resurgence and then Shingo Takagi at Dominion.
Why not?
And then the main event on Saturday is a big one, as we will see the return of the dog pound steel cage matchup. 5-on-5, winner takes all, War Games rules. Is going to be the loser of this matchup must leave the Bullet Club, as the 2 main factions within the active Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling will go at it in a full-on war, as you got the Bullet Club WarDogs represented by David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, Clark Connors, and Taiji Ishimori versus the House of Torture, Evil, Show, Sonata. You got Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This one has been stemming ever since the new beginning in Osaka, when Evil, after losing in the Tokyo Dome to Hiroshi Tanahashi, made his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling and initiated an attack on not only Yota Tsuji, but Bullet Club WarDogs member Gabe Kidd, where Ren Narita knocked him out with the push-up bar, and then Evil officially announced that the WarDogs had been kicked out of the Bullet Club. This continued through the New Japan Cup, where all the members would brawl throughout the tour. You had Gabe Kidd eliminate Ren Narita from the first round. Then Ren cost Gabe his second round matchup against Taiji, costing him the New Japan Cup. David Finlay defeated Evil in the second round of the New Japan Cup to move on and eventually go on to win the entire tournament. But then you had at the New Japan Cup final, it was at Sakura Genesis that Sonata turned his back on the Bullet Club WarDogs. A mere 6 months after joining the group, he turned on them to join up with the House of Torture. He picked his side via guitar shot on Drilla Maloney, busting him open, and it led to David Finlay making the challenge for the Bullet Club WarDogs signature matchup. The dog pound steel cage match. Last year at New Beginning in Osaka, it was the Bullet Club WarDogs who defeated United Empire in the dog pound steel cage matchup, a bloody all-out war that cost the Bullet Club WarDogs basically one of their members, with Alex Coglin's career ending. There was the mat being pulled out. There was boards popping up from and hurting different wrestlers in that matchup. Hanari was out for several months after the damn matchup. Will Ospreay left the company after the match. So this match has a reputation of being a career killer and a group killer in a lot of ways. So what's going to happen here when these two main factions go at it? We shall see on Saturday. J-News, what have you thought about the build to this matchup, and who wins and who leaves the Bullet Club?
I mean, the build to this matchup has been what it's been. I think the Wrestling Dontaku tour has been the longest tour they've done this year so far. As per the amount of Road 2 shows there's been. So there's that part of it. Same old House of Torture chicanery and shenanigans and stuff that's been happening. The WarDogs trying different tactics to try to get one up on the House of Torture guys. I think that on this past show, it was supposed to be a 6-man tag, or it was supposed to be a 5-man tag, but three guys came out first for the WarDogs, then 2 guys came out later after the fact to get the jump on House of Torture. So they're trying different strategies and things of that nature. So I can appreciate that bit of storytelling within this feud. Yeah, man, I'm not scared about the match. It's just more or less, like I said, the history of it, right? If one team has to leave the Bullet Club, that essentially within itself doesn't really matter, right? Because who really cares at this point, right? The Bullet Club hasn't been the Bullet Club in quite some time, right?
Yeah.
So that essentially within itself doesn't put anything into danger, right? But what does put things into danger is what these guys are going to be willing to do to one another in that match. Also, how many of these guys, non-House of Torture members, I'll be specific, are working on per appearance deals right now, right? So yeah, man, I don't know, man. This event in its entirety has a lot of weirdness to me, which is why I'm not so amped to it about it. Why I'm not so hyped to it. So weird. What's the old school term that they used to use? It's very melancholy at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's very melancholy. So I don't know what'll happen from here. I feel like I guess David Finlay, he'll stick around, right? Because for all intents and purposes, I would have figured that Finlay would have been signed somewhere by now, but he's not. Which I honestly
really feel like Finlay and Kidd have quietly re-signed longer deals.
Yeah, I think you're dead on with that, especially with Gabe, right? I think Finlay might have re-signed as well, and I guess all that time off was just for negotiation purposes between in between February and March and all that. But yeah, Clark's the Defy champion and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think Clark's leaving. I think Clark's leaving. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Tekla both go to AEW.
Right. So, and I don't really usually get into anybody's personal business. They're not together, right? They're just friends.
Yeah, they are.
They're good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his girl. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought. Yeah, I didn't want to freaking assume and shit like that. Look, man, he's like I said, he's the Defy champion. He had that great ass hardcore match with Despy and stuff like that. Usually, when these guys go on their way out, they kill it and they leave on a high note. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if Connors is out, I can see it. Maloney's growing into his own, so I don't see him going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So You know, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But they do have. I don't see House of Torture for whatever reason. And you guys can say whatever you want. You can call me a hypocrite if you want, or whatever the case. I don't see the House of Torture losing this match. I just don't.
Wow.
I don't see the House of Torture losing this match. And I know how much I hate on the House of Torture. And I'm going to go into my Sonata spiel right now, or whatever the case is, right? I don't understand, SP3. I don't understand what this is about. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I worked all these years, not worked, but I've been on this damn bandwagon all these years. We finally got to a point where we got a match stipulation that justifies Sonata kicking Evil's ass. And they're on the same side? They're on the same side? What is going on here?
Because he's a hypocrite. Your boy's a hypocrite. That's what it is. You need to get with the program. Your boy's a hypocrite. That's the best I can tell you. The man's a hypocrite. You need to get off that bandwagon, sir.
This is crazy.
I'm gonna go with the Bullet Club WarDogs because only one of these teams has Bullet Club in their name. Like House of Torture doesn't need to be in the Bullet. They should have not been in the Bullet Club for years. It needs to be yes, the WarDogs could be just the WarDogs. Yeah, but they are the Bullet Club WarDogs. They have gained momentum back to the Bullet Club that was on a deathbed when they first were basically first made their alternative group of the WarDogs in it. They were on its deathbed after the Jay White run did not end the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling for the Bullet Club when they felt like he was gonna reborn it when he made his way back to Japan in 2022. That did not happen, and it wound up being kind of just wimping to the finish line as he finished his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But out of the depths of the deathbed, it was the work of David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and then to a lesser sense, but still very much on the backs of Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors establishing themselves in the junior tag team division. The additions of Taji Ishimori into the group, they have reborn the Bullet Club where they have enough momentum to headline a big show during Golden Week like this in the Dog Pound Steel Cage match. Let's get a happy ending. Let's make this the matchup that is the Bullet Club WarDogs specialty, and to do that, they need to go 2-0 in this match time.
Honestly, man, I hope you're right, but for whatever reason, man, I feel like House of Torture's winning this match. I don't know, man. For some reason, the bookers over there in New Japan got a hard on for the freaking House of Torture, and they don't want to let him go. So it's like it is what it is, man. But hopefully, Evil gets stomped out. Hopefully, they take the Tokyo Pimp symbol off of Yujiro's shorts. At the end of the day, shouts to Peter. I saw her on my timeline the other day. She still looks great.
Oh man, this guy. This I dealt with gooning yesterday with Top Guy JJ talking about Stephanie Vicaire. Now I got to deal with your gooning for Peter.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. I cannot sit here and summarily dismiss the fact that young lady is fine as hell. That's all I gotta say.
Goonery, these goons. I'm not
out here like Booker T, man. Oh yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man. Chuck and donkey quack quack. All right. Let's talk about the second night, which is Sunday, May 4th for Wrestling Dontaku Night 2. We got a preliminary match, pre-show matchup, as we're going to get Katsuya Morishima, this time teaming up with Rasuke Taguchi to verse the newest young lion, who is, I'm going to say this first name very wrong, Hitamura Sasaki and Jet Wei.
Yes.
I believe they're new. Both of them are new young lions. Am I correct?
I think Sasaki's the young lion, and Wei is from another like indie Japanese promotion.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So who you got here?
The pros. I got Taguchi and Morishima for the win.
I love that Morishima's a pro now.
Yeah, he's a pro, man. He's a pro.
He's a pro. He's the lead. He's leading the pack for the young Lions. So he's the pro now. Then we got the opening matchup on the main card is going to be this is another one where I got to struggle to pronounce these names. Mentai Kid and Baton Korara versus the Bullet Club WarDogs, Taiji Ishimori and Gato. What you got here?
This seems like they do this like once a year. New Japan does, where they bring in talents from some of the Japanese indies. But it's like they usually have like a specific show for this that's not Dontaku. But anyways, the New Japan side, I pick Taiji Ishimori and Gato to get the win here. I've never heard of these other two gentlemen. So yeah, I don't see them winning, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll get familiar with them before Sunday. But yeah, I'm going to agree with you. The New Japan talent gets the win. The Bullet Club WarDogs picking up a victory here after hopefully winning the night before, which Taiji Ishimori will be in some bad shape, probably coming off the dog pound steel cage match.
Probably.
Then we got more tag team action as we're going to have basically a preview of the main event as we're going to get Hontai versus United Empire here. Master Wato teaming up with one half of Bishamon Yoshihashi to versus United Empire's Great Okan, one half of the IWGP tag team champions versus and Jacob Austin Young JAY. I'm going to go with no, JAY is here to take a loss, isn't he? He's the young lion. So I'll take the Hontai side.
Absolutely, man. You got to make sure you're still booking logically out here. You know what I'm saying? I love the JAY, man, but he's still wearing the black trunks, so he's gonna take the pin here, and that's the way it's gonna be.
Then we got a Stardom showcase, which I'm happy about. You got some Stardom talent on the card here, as it's going to be a Stardom showcase. You got on the left-hand side, basically amalgamation of talent from the Stardom side, as well as a couple of free agents as well. So this is like Stardom mixed with like some of their freelance talent all in one in this one matchup. But on the left-hand side, we got Maika. She's going to be teaming up with Maika's teaming up with Hazuki, which is always one of our favorites, and I think that's Koguma at the top there. And they'll be facing Starlight Kid, who is the Wonder of Stardom champion, and she'll be teaming up with the woman that she just defeated back at Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom, Azumi, and they'll be teaming up with am I gonna say? I'm gonna say this wrong. Right? Sayaka Yugami, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
There we go. So yes, they'll no. Is that her? No, this is Yuna Mizumori.
Oh, that's Yuna.
Yeah, Mizumori. Yeah, Yuna Mizumori. I had to double check that, so I wanted to make sure we're getting.
It's the hair that confuses me.
The hair is very much like her. I will front. But yes, Yuna teaming up the Neo Genesis side, Neo Genesis combination versus a combination of Empress Nexus V and Stars, which I don't know if Stars is even a thing anymore with Mayu Iwatani leaving Stardom, but this is a Stardom showcase featuring a bunch of their great talent there. I'm not sure is Maika gonna show, because I think she's injured. I don't know if they're gonna replace Maika here, because I think Maika, they said coming off the heels of All-Star Grand Queendom that Maika was gonna be out of action. So
don't know.
I don't know. But we shall see. Yeah. Oh, Michael is good for one more show. Okay, that's fair. So I'll take. You know what? I'm gonna take Micah's side because I want the Hazuki push to start. You're losing Mayu Iwatani. You're losing Tam Nakano. It's time to push Hazuki. Stardom. Get on your shit.
I don't disagree. But like I've been saying for the last couple of shows, previews and reviews, this was supposed to be the year of Micah, and now she's hurt at the end of the day. So
I mean, last year was the year of Micah. What are we talking about?
Really? I don't think it was.
Yes, it was. She was undefeated in the 5-star Grand Prix. She was the World of Stardom champion. What are we talking about?
You're right about that. The reason as to why I say is I felt like this year was supposed to be the year of Micah was because I felt like we were supposed to get more of her on stateside. That's what I'm referring to. Sorry about that. But as to what team wins here, interesting. I'm gonna go with my Neo Genesis girls because they deserve to keep on the uptick. But I feel like, to your point, if nothing else, the Stardom has to start the Hazuki push. They just do at this point. If Micah's going to be taking some time off, and obviously with Mayu gone and Tam retiring and things of that nature, they need to push other of the girls to the forefront, and she is definitely at the top of that list. Kaguma's really more or less the standard vet at this point. She just participates in most things. She makes things fun and stuff like that. So I could always appreciate her. I feel like the Neo Genesis girls will take the win here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to switch my pick. I'm going to go with Neo Genesis as well. The new Stardom and New Japan, they love to put over the champions in these multi-man matchups. So Starlight Kid being the Wonder of Stardom champion, as well as Azumi being in that three-way for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship. So I'll take the Neo Genesis side. You convince me. I won't cope for Hazuki, even though I will cope for Hazuki as long as I watch Stardom. But next up, we got the tag team matchup that I guess was going to be on night 1. Is now on night 2 here, as you're going to get El Phantasmo teaming up with his fellow Hontai member, Botan Oleg, to versus the members of the Don Callis family, Rocky Romero, and the never openweight champion, Konosuke Takeshita. Of course, Takeshita and ELP will meet on Saturday. They will also meet for the Never Openweight Championship at Resurgence. So who do you got here, J-News?
I feel like even though he's joined the Don Callis family, I feel like Rocky Romero's still taking the pin in this. So
he joined the Don Callis family to be a pin eater. Like, that's what it was. Like, exactly. Come on, what are we talking about?
So I never thought I would see the day where we would see Roppongi Vice back together again under certain circumstances, and then to see them on AEW TV and they're just Callis lackeys at this point. It's like, take all the pins for all I care. I don't care.
You're here to take all the pins because we're not pinning Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander too often.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of everything else, like you said, Takeshita's not taking a pin, especially with the match he's going to have on the night before, which is odd. And obviously he's got his other match against ELP on that Saturday, Friday. I forget the date, but
Friday is May 9th.
Exactly. So, ELP's not eating the pin at the end of the day, and Bolik Olsen's just too big at the end of the day. So he outsizes everybody. So, logical sense makes Rocky Romero the odd man out. Sorry, Rocky.
Yeah, Ninja Martyr saying Oleg pins Rocky. I could see that. Or ELP to put him over ahead of probably losing at Resurgence, but we'll do a preview next week for that. Then we got night 2 of Hontai versus TMDK. This time a 10-man tag team matchup with some special guests joining us, as well as we're going to have the Hontai side is Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tori Yanuo, and Yo, and they'll be teaming up with, I'm going to say this wrong, Roto Shinkanzun, and Tajiri, my boy Tajiri with the gray hair Tajiri, let's go. And they'll be facing TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr., Roye Uyoa, Robbie Eagles, Hartley Jackson, and Kosei Fujita.
Yeah, man. It always interesting to see Tajiri in his at his current age still work the way that he does with the style that he does. Uh, Always cool to see him in the ring. I have a feeling the non-traditional New Japan guy who's not so much of a legend in Ryota Chickenson.
Chickenson.
Yeah,
Ryota Chickenson.
I think he will eat the pin here, and the other side wins this match. Yes.
We got a call from Greg Carter II saying Tajiri misses Hartley. I can see that.
Sure, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah.
I could definitely see Hartley being the one that takes the loss for TMDK. So that's why I'm going to go with Hontai for the win. Interesting. All right, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Then we got round 2 for Hontai versus LIJ. As this time we're going to get Shoto Umino teaming up with Tomohiro Ishii and Tai Chi and Takamishi Shinoku to versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, Hiromu Takahashi, and the final match as official members of the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster for Bushi and one of the greatest of all time, Tetsuya Naito. Naito's farewell matchup from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This should be emotional. This should be gripping. There should be a lot of rallying behind Naito here, and he should be kind of the spotlight by the end of this matchup. J-News, what does this match mean to you as watching New Japan as long as you have, seeing Naito's final official match as a New Japan Pro Wrestling star?
Over the years, there's been so many different end of eras in New Japan, and to be like to yeah, man, this is it's gonna be not a tearjerker, but it's gonna be one of those ones where it's like, okay, it's not as bad as it was in the early 2000s. Like we're not in the dark ages, you know what I'm saying? But this transition we're going through right now in New Japan is something to behold, especially when you're in it, right? In the early 2000s, I wasn't as in it as I am now, and it's just bittersweet, man. But it's time. But I do, from a results standpoint, they will get one final roll call. So I do expect LIJ to win here, and we shall see how it all breaks down. But you know, Los Ingobernables de
Japón.
Well,
he's gonna be like Bushi, Hiromu, Shingo, Titan, Tetsuya Naito, Los Ingobernables de Japón.
That's right.
And then they'll do this. They'll do the streamers. Just for him. Just for him.
And a part of me feels like, I don't know why. Part of me feels like he's gonna leave his hat at the ring, but so.
he should for one night only. If it's the last time he's gonna be in New Japan Pro Wrestling, he leaves the hat in the ring and he takes off his shirt and he leaves it in the ring.
We'll see.
We're definitely getting T-shirt Naito in at least one of these multi-man matches on this show. You gotta give us one last T-shirt Naito performance.
For sure, man. But it's gonna be a bittersweet moment, man. Jeez, man, it's been quite the last bit in the decade that was anywhere from 2010 to now, the last 15 years or so. This current crop and generation of the guys who've been on top have they definitely did something for New Japan that hadn't been done in obviously the previous decade and stuff like that. So it was just something. It's just, yeah, man, it's bittersweet. So hopefully Naito continues to do bigger and better things, and his health holds up, and he does what he can and all that.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens here. I'm gonna put this person on timeout. You look like a bot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the final two matches. You got the semi-main event for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Another member of Los Ingobernables de Japón, I forgot, Suji. Yota Suji will defend against his arch nemesis, his longtime career rival, Yuya Uemura. It was Uemura who came out after Suji successfully defended the title against Evil at Sakura Genesis and stepped up as the next challenger. The last time these two men met was in the G1 Climax tournament last year, where Uemura defeated Suji despite suffering a bicep injury. He fought through the pain and he was able to beat Suji in that matchup, but not able to complete his run in the G1 Climax tournament that Suji was able to make it all the way to the finals in. Uemura has held that grudge against him since then. These two men have met time and time again. They faced in hair versus hair, where Suji got the victory over Uemura, where Uemura had to shave his head. And now we get them for the first time competing against one another for a major championship. The Young Lions have really grown up, and now they're in the semi-main event during Golden Week. What do you think about the build-up to this matchup here, and who wins on Sunday, J-News?
This is the present and the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. These two gentlemen, and not for nothing, I love Big Suge. But it's time. It's time, SP3. That's right. The Heat Storm wins this matchup, and he gains the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. And they put a strap on the young man, and they continue his rise to make him one of the new faces of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think this would be the best time to do it. Celebrate that holiday all the way up, being that it is Golden Week and things of that nature. Him with a new bit of gold, I think, will do wonders for Uemura's career, and him championing the cause of still being the outstanding member of Just Four Guys, and giving the new generation someone to look up to, because obviously Shooter Umino is just not doing it. So yeah.
We gotta stay shitting on Shoto. That's what we're doing here. I was really tempted even before this to go with Uemura, but I can't. You went out on a limb with that one, so I'm not gonna take your shine away and say the same thing. I'm gonna go with Suji to retain. Maybe it will be Gabe Kidd, or maybe a Shingo, who is the one that dethrones Suji. But I wouldn't be surprised if Suji lost it here, because I do think that Suji is either losing the title at this show or Dominion before he wins the G1 Climax this year. This is my early pick for this year's G1 is Yota Suji. So it would make sense if he lost it here. For now, though, I'll go with Suji to retain.
Yeah, man, I just see such a bright future for Uemura, and I think for him to start with this particular piece of gold, he's quite talented in the ring. He's worked a lot on his mic skills and things of that nature, man. It was like, you can't let all this hard work go to waste, New Japan. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to pay him the big money in about 5 to 7 years, you might as well strap him up now. You know what I'm saying? So he's got a lot of ties to American wrestling companies and talent and things of that nature. He don't got to stay in New Japan if he don't want to, man. The kid's hella talented. You know what I'm saying? So
this is true.
Strap him up now. Make sure you keep on pushing the new generation to the forefront. And spotlight him as champion, right? Yeah. Depending on how many defenses they want to give him. Suge is made at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you, to be quite honest. Suge for the G1. Big Suge for the G1, and he goes on to he'll do the traditional thing. He'll go on to Wrestle Kingdom. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
He won't do it early like Zack. No.
Yeah.
No.
So
You should probably keep the title on Hirooki Goto this whole year. Ride it out. If he's hot now, you can kind of ride it out for a couple of more months and get him
changing.
You had your chance, and like this is how I felt. Like I said the same thing about Moxley winning a dynasty against Swerve. People were like, "Oh, maybe Joe can beat him." I was like, "Let's guys, we gotta give it up. We just gotta go with Moxley as the champion heading into the big show and see what happens there." Now we're at that point with Hirooki Goto. It's like 7 months away, but we're at that point with Hirooki Goto. You should probably ride this out to the end of the year and have him be the one to drop it to the new generation. He's the last guard of this past generation, and he loses it to the new generation at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, I think that'll make the most sense. A coronation moment for one of the talents who's part of the new generation and stuff like that. I agree with that. Goto's the good thing about Goto's title reign is that it's still hot, and he's still working at a high level. So all props to the G and the G1 that stands for Goto, and the G and then IWGP standing for Goto. So
who knows if Goto is going to be the champion, because that brings us to the main event of the show. Hirooki Goto will defend the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against United Empire's own and one half of the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Callum Newman. We've talked about it throughout this preview here. Callum Newman won the IWGP Tag Team Championships alongside Jeff Cobb at Sakura Genesis. He had to relinquish the titles due to Jeff Cobb exiting the company 9 days later. Cobb was set to challenge Goto for the championship on this show, but with him leaving, Callum Newman said that he was going to take this opportunity and take the reins for himself and get this shot at Hirooki Goto. These two men have been battling night in, night out on the road too, and really it's been Callum Newman proving himself against Hirooki Goto. They've had some splendid exchanges against each other. The crowd feels like it's slowly but surely rallying behind Callum, but still behind Goto at the same time. Can this be the biggest win of Callum Newman's young career at just 22 years old, or will the Goto revolution continue? J-News, what have you thought about everything that's gone down with Callum Newman in the past 3 weeks heading into this matchup, and who wins on Sunday in the main event?
Everything's been thrust upon Callum Newman in the last several weeks. Surprises, wins, changing of tag team partners, basically becoming the leader of the United Empire. You know what I'm saying? And all that jazz. I expect this to be a very good match. I expect this to be more of a coming out party for Callum because of Goto. And with that being said, Callum doesn't win the match. That's not happening. But for all intents,
he's like, no, not today.
Not today. He still needs to get his work in as a tag champ. He still needs to win some of the lesser singles championships and things of that nature. But this will be a good test to see if he can rise to the occasion with the standard bearer of the older generation that's left at the end of this at this point. So I expect a banger of a match. I want to see Callum work more on his storytelling component in the ring. So hopefully they'll have more of that between him and Goto in this match, and it should be a great showing for him. And if it's not, then New Japan's going to have to revisit. But I got faith in the kid. So Goto for the win, though. Goto should. I agree with you, bro. I think Goto walks into Wrestle Kingdom still as champ. I don't necessarily see anyone upstaging him right now from a popularity standpoint and things of that nature, and also just him getting a real solid reign with the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. being the last member of his generation to still be active on the roster, outside of Ishii, really. But and I don't think New Japan's going to give Ishii a title like that. So
we need to get an Ishii title shot, though. I wouldn't mind that. Ishii versus Goto. I wouldn't mind Goto versus Yoshihashi. There's like interesting title matches that can happen for Goto if he does hold the title for the rest of the year. There's like matches that usually you wouldn't say, oh, that can main event a show. It can main event a show because Goto's so hot right now, and it's matches that usually always deliver. But now you're gonna be putting it in the main event. And like I said before, Zack Sabre Jr. and Shingo Takagi should be championship matches in the near future. So. Yeah, I'm going to go with Goto retaining here, but after Callum gives him a run for his money. I think this is going like 20, 25 minutes, and it's going to be probably the best match of Callum Newman's career.
As it should be for right now. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely on board with that.
But that brings us to a close on our NJPW Wrestling Dontaku 2025 preview. Want to thank you guys in the chat for joining us. Appreciate y'all showing us some love. We do got the super chat donation from our good brother Vala B. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, all I want from this dog pound match is that no one's career is forced to end. Me and you both, good brother. Me and you both. Hopefully, everybody's career is intact, and hopefully, J-News is wrong. Is that people are leaving after this matchup? I hope that's not the case. Even the House of Torture side, we need everybody on deck at this point. Even the House of Torture members.
We'll see how it all ends up, man. We'll see how it all ends up.
Hoping for the best. Hoping for the best. Am bracing myself for the worst. We do got also Ninja Mortis with a good comment here. He says, dog, this feels like a Hontai retirement tour. Something's happening soon, right? Shooter's gonna split and take some of them boys. I could see that.
Oh, man. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, man. That's all I gotta say about that.
Also fair.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And then Vala also adds, Shingo wins, talk about the Shingo and Shooter matchup, and tries to recruit Shooter because that's something Gato would do with Shooter. Shooter in Los Ingobernables downfall would be hilarious. He's the new Tetsuya Naito. He starts coming out with hats.
I can't do it. He's not that cool, man. I'm sorry, bro. He's not that cool. You know?
Force-fed coolness on Shoto Umino's part. J-News, thank you as always for joining me, good sir. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
Oh man, y'all can follow me on the socials on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. Daily posts, posts and stuff like that, whatever the case is. I shoot out movie trailers and things of that nature for stuff that I watch. Specifically in movie theaters, so I don't post movie trailers for everything. Also check me on the Instagrams at _JONJY. And I am also doing my weekly podcast with the lovely Dolores every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Hit the Ropes podcast. You'll see me again here on True Heel Heat next week when we review the 2 nights of Wrestling Dontaku, and then also when we preview Resurgence. Happening in Ontario, California. So you'll see me twice next week here on True Heel.
Well, they might see you. We should see you 3 times because not only do we have Resurgence to preview, we got to preview the Best of Super Juniors tournament.
That's true. The freaking Blacks came out today.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is Monday for the Dontaku review. Does that work for you?
That works.
And then next Wednesday for Resurgence, and then we'll pre-record the Best of Super Juniors.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. See, y'all get the inside meetings and everything here on the preview. So thank y'all for watching. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat, $3 a month. The best way to support us when we are not live here and we sometimes get a couple of good content for you to enjoy over there. We'll have our Best of Super Juniors preview up on Patreon first before we drop it here on the main channel for you guys to enjoy. But check that out. Be on the lookout for that. Go over to True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment if you want more content in regards to sports, movies, and TV. And of course, check out all the great content we got here on the channel right now, like our Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2025 review with myself and Scott Edwards that we did on Monday. Check out Rated Raw review episode 65, Go to Hell, reviewing Monday Night Raw. And later today, I believe it's going to drop 7 p.m. Eastern time. We got our TNA Rebellion 2025 review where I'm breaking down all the action from TNA's latest pay-per-view, including Trick Williams invading the Impact Zone. So be on the lookout for all that great content. Be on the lookout for me and J-News back with you on Monday to review both nights of Wrestling Dontaku. But until then, for J-News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our NJPW Wrestling Dontaku 2025 preview. We signing.